Now, the first thing I want to say in this video is that I'm against racism, no matter what form it comes in. I don't like how a lot of people will try to make excuses for racism when it's a person that's not white. And I think that's completely ignorant for a number of people to do. Now, over the last couple months, there's been a number of anti-Semitic attacks against Jewish organizations. There's a black Israelite who stabbed a bunch of Jews in New York. And the president came out and condemned it. But what blew me away is how a lot of people on woke Twitter were defending this man by saying he can't be racist. He doesn't have any institutional power. That is the most ridiculous talking point that many people on the left are using. Any person can pick up a dictionary and read the definition of racism, and it doesn't mention anything about institutional power. The definition of racism in a dictionary is any person that's prejudiced against another race. Any person that's bigoted against another race. That's the definition of racism. What woke Twitter activists have tried to do is change the definition of racism so it fits their political narrative. And I just think it's completely ignorant. Racism is wrong no matter who does it. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Latina, I don't care what race you are. If you hate someone because of the color of their skin, you are a racist, period. On woke Twitter, in the conscious community, they think it's socially acceptable to hate white people. They think it's socially acceptable to hate white people. It's completely ridiculous. And these are the same people that say they're against racism. They're crusaders against racism. They don't view a black militant who hates white people as being racist because they say he doesn't have any institutional power. He can't have any effect on another person's life. That's complete bullshit. Any person can have an effect on somebody else's life. Any person can grab a gun and walk into a church and walk into an office and shoot people and stab people. Just like this man did in New York. You don't need institutional power in order to have an effect on somebody else's life. Now, if pro-blacks and black militants want to make the argument that white racism is the worst racism, so we should focus more on that, then that's the argument they should make. But to say a black person can't be racist, or a Latino person can't be racist, or an Asian person can't be racist because they don't have any institutional power is complete bullshit. You can't change the definition of racism to fit your political narrative. Again, you can't change the definition to fit your narrative. Wrong is wrong. What a lot of pro-blacks and black militants will do is make excuses for a minority being bigoted by saying he doesn't have any institutional power. It's ridiculous. If you hate white people, you're racist, period. Martin Luther King said, judge a person by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. You should judge a person by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. That means if you're solely looking at somebody based on the color of their skin, you're solely judging somebody based on the color of their skin, you are a racist. Period. I don't care whether you're black, white, Latina, Asian. If you're solely judging a person based on the color of their skin, you are a racist, period. There is no excuses. Nobody gets a pass. I notice a lot of pro-blacks and black liberals, they think a minority who's racist should get a pass. If we're going by this ridiculous logic that a person needs institutional power to be racist, then somebody like George Zimmerman can't be racist. If we're going by pro-black woke Twitter logic, then a Puerto Rican, this Puerto Rican man who killed Trayvon Martin, he can't be racist. You can't say he's racist because he's a person of color. If we're going by this ridiculous logic that a person of color can't be racist, then you can't say George Zimmerman is racist. You can't say the cop who killed Philando Castile is racist. He's a Mexican. The cop who killed Philando Castile is a Mexican. So by the pro-black logic, he can't be racist. You can't say he's racist. Even if he is racist, even if we look at that video, we look at all the facts, and it shows that he's a racist, you can't say he's racist. You see how ridiculous this logic is? What a lot of pro-blacks don't realize is that they're giving other races a free pass to be racist. Every time they say a person of color can't be racist, you're giving other races a free pass to be racist against black people. How many times have I walked in a Korean store and they told me to get out of their store because they don't want Negroes, they don't want niggas in their store? But by the pro-black woke Twitter logic, they can't be racist. I can't say they're racist because they're people of color. Based on this ridiculous leftist logic, if a black person gets kicked out of a Korean store because they don't want blacks in the store, that black person can't complain. That black person can't say they're racist. Because according to woke Twitter logic, people of color can't be racist. There was an incident where a black woman was beat up. She was beat up by a Korean store owner. She was beat up and kicked out of the store because they didn't want this black woman in the store.
I came to shop here. I did purchase items, and I had my young son. He's 3 years old, and I paid for my stuff and was attempting to walk out. I hadn't got all the way outside yet. Got up in his face, as y'all can probably see on the video, and then I attempted to walk away. It looks like I hit him, but I didn't. I just turned around to say, I'm walking away. Yeah. And as I walked away, he grabbed my arm and spent me around. And then he just hit me in my mouth. And
as you can see.
As you can see. And then that was all. And he walked on back in the building. And I sat out there for about an hour.
Yeah.
But if we're going by woke Twitter logic, if we're going by the pro-black logic that a person of color can't be racist, if we're going by that logic, then this Korean store owner can't be racist. He should be allowed to beat up as many black women as he wants. He should be allowed to kick out black women out of the store. He should be allowed to get away with this because he's a person of color and he can't be racist. He doesn't have any institutional power. If we're going by the pro-black woke Twitter logic, then these people can't be racist. And this is what a lot of people in the pro-black community don't realize. They're giving other races a free pass to be racist against black people. Most racism that I've experienced throughout my life has always been from other people of color. I've experienced racism from white people, but the majority of racism that I've experienced throughout my life has actually been from other people of color. When I was growing up, I was always told, you can only be racist if you're white. But when I experienced those racist experiences when I was in the military, that let me know that racism exists in every culture. It exists in every country. Every country has racism. Every culture has a certain degree of racism. And for woke Twitter activists to say only white people can be racist, only white people can be racist, they don't realize that they're giving other races a free pass to be racist. Nobody should get a pass to be racist. I don't care whether you're black, white, Latina, Asian. Nobody should get a free pass to be racist. Period. Hebrew Israelites, not only do they hate white people, they also hate any black person that doesn't think the way they think. This is what makes them so hateful. These Hebrew Israelites are just as hateful as any white supremacists. They're just as hateful as any white nationalists, and their behavior shouldn't get a pass. So don't give me this, oh, this person doesn't have any institutional power. There's a lot of poor white people who don't have any institutional power either. By this logic, they can't be racist. A poor white person who commits a crime against a person of color, you can't say they're racist because they don't have any institutional power. Based on this ridiculous logic, they can't be racist if they don't have any institutional power. So we need to stop the whole making excuses for racism. If you hate a person based on the color of their skin, they're racist, period. There is no excuses. There is no way you can try to defend this.